Hey replay viewers, be sure to check me out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Penguin6. I'm all over the place. And right now we're on our morning hike in the afternoon. No, I don't really know what time it is. It's after lunch sometime. And we are off for a walk. Hitchhike. Hello. Hey Seattle, welcome to Hong Kong, where it's also kind of gray, but not raining. I've been alright. Here at the bottom, waiting up here. I actually walked up here. I didn't see them eat chicken feet. I watched my kids eat chicken feet. I'll actually be at the tram station. How long are you in the line? I'll be there in about 10 minutes. Takes about 7 or 8 minutes to get up here. Looking over my Instagram pages, yeah, I don't know if I posted something today. Hey, good night. Buenas noches, Ecuador. Tram's pulling up in front of you right now. Well, sit on the right-hand side of the tram. So if it's a American car, you're on the passenger side, and if it's a British car, sit on the driver's side of the tram. The view is better on that side. Just out for a walk. I'm walking back to the tram station right now. Bunch of photographers. Got Chinese tutors for the kids, soccer practice for my son. Gonna get a salad. Oh, look at that bird. Hey Arizona, I was in Arizona last summer. Hey, thanks for the super heart. That's a cool one. Northern Arizona, as I went over to Grand Canyon. No, it doesn't take 7 minutes. It takes about takes quite a bit longer than that. From my house up, it took about 15 minutes, but I live midway up. To walk up's probably a half hour. First day of Periscope. Welcome to Hong Kong. You're looking at Victoria Harbour right now. And we're going to make our way to the tram station. So this is Lugard Road. Do you ever go to the top? You mean Victoria Peak Gardens? Sure, I'll go up there. I'm usually not on my normal days. Fish and Chips is closed on Monday. We're going to have another awesome view just up here. We just have to get through these trees, and then you'll see the things. The True Peak, though, is actually kind of, well, it's not as panoramic as this, because the part of the True Peak that offers the view is restricted to government weather stations and radar domes and stuff like that. So if you want the best view, you have to come over here to Lugard Road. The tram line is horrific, but if you're in the tram station, you should be on the next tram or the one after that. One at the top, because there's not that much to see there, really. There's a garden, there's a bunch of wedding photographers. But for like the really stunning views of the city, this is where you go. The True Peak is another 400 feet up, but this view is obscured by fences. So well, the video goes in and out depending on the signal. Well, the tram comes here. The tram comes here. I take the tram. I didn't take it today. I walked up. I walked up because I didn't have any money. And by the time I got to my tram station, the tram had passed. So I was like, do I want to wait another 10 minutes for the next tram? Or I could just walk up there in like 12. So I walked up. My wife took all my cash this morning. She's like, honey, can I have all this cash that's on your desk? I'm like, yeah. And then like I come out, I'm like, oh, I have nothing. I have like zilch, nothing. So I decided to walk up here to go to the ATM machine. And then I grabbed a hamburger at McDonald's because I didn't have any lunch. I was busy all day. I actually screwed up this weekend. I have Octopus. Yeah, well, I could use my Octopus card for the tram, but I couldn't use it for a taxi. and taking the bus is pointless. So, but I'd missed the tram, and I was like, I'm not going to wait 10 minutes. So this weekend I filmed a game, my son's soccer game, which is 40 minutes long, in 4K video at 60 frames a second. Okay, that was a mistake. The video file was like 35 gigabytes. There is an ATM up here.
That's like you want to help him to catch and understand, right?
So, 35 gigabyte file I had to download. It took about an hour, and it took about 2 hours to get a 35 gigabyte file off my phone and into my computer. That was a bear. Live and learn. Hey, sweetie. Any lights up there at night? On this path, you mean? Yeah, you can walk this path at night. The only thing you got to watch out for, though, are snakes, because there's a lot of nocturnal snakes that come out. So if you walk this path at nighttime, you just got to be careful. I mean, there are lights. There's actually street lights, like right here. Yeah, there's a street light. But there are also snakes, which are not fun. The drone didn't go out of control. It was under control. It just ran into a tree because I was flying backwards, which you're not supposed to do with a drone, because the drone does not have rear obstacle detection. 5:45 is sundown, about right now, 5:45. The light show is at 8 o'clock. That's when all the lights start blinking. But most of the lights face Kowloon, so you won't really see them all blinking up here. You'll see some of them blinking up here, but not all. Truth be told, though, if you really want the light show, you got to go to Kowloon to see the best view. But you can see the lights lit up over the city starting about 6:30. Buildings all don't turn their lights on right away. And the lights stay lit till about 11 o'clock at night, and then they start to go out. 10 or 11, they start to go out. Oh, those dogs are back. I haven't heard those dogs in a long time. So did you get on the tram? Yeah, that's a really, really nice house, and he's got those dogs as sort of a security system. I'm pretty skinny. I actually I would like to lose about 5 or 6 pounds, and I've been trying to lose those 5 or 6 pounds for a while. It's much harder now that I'm in maintenance mode. Once you get to maintenance mode, big fluctuations of a few pounds are difficult. Before, I was losing a pound a week, even 2. But now, you have to do some Kickstarter stuff. Which is why I may, later today, go on the treadmill. So I'll go downstairs in my building, hello, and jump on the treadmill or something. Or go on the exercise bike, because it's faster. Hey Frank, how's it going? This loop is about 3.2 kilometers, and then I walk home, it's about, 2 more kilometers. It's about 6 kilometers every morning. It's about 4 miles. Yeah, thanks for Frank. So we walk about 4 miles in the morning. And over the course of the day, we try to walk 10 miles. It's about 20,000 steps. And we get it more days than we don't. When we're really pushing it, we can do 30,000 steps a day. That's about 15 miles a day. But that requires at least 2 hikes. 2 dedicated hiking sessions, and then a bunch of errands running around the city. So today I spent most of the morning working on the computer. That's why you guys didn't see me this morning. And I didn't come out until quite a bit later. I went from 208 pounds down to 149 pounds. And right now I'm back up about 159 pounds, 5'9". Took about 9 months. Yeah, 149 was too skinny. 155 is my goal, which means I want to be 152 and a half in the morning and at most 157 at the end of the day. I'm working on that still. This will be about a 4-mile hike, but we're over halfway done. Because we did walk up today, that's right. How much rent for an apartment? Well, how long's a piece of string? The average family in my son's international school rents a 3-bedroom apartment for about $11,500 US dollars a month. So $11,500 US per month. I don't pay that much. We have a much cheaper place. We're paying about $8,200 to $8,500 US per month. It's very difficult to find anything under, say, $1,500 a month on Hong Kong Island, $2,000 a month on the island, actually. I had a McDonald's today. Nothing too exciting. Got a bagel too. Yeah, $8,200 a month plus utilities, so it's more about. Actually, when it's all done and dusted, it's about $9,000 a month in rent and utilities. 9,000 US. So what's that? $108,000 a year. 108,000 US a year for rent. It's actually quite a bit more than New York. My place in New York was much cheaper in Manhattan, up on the Upper West Side. That was a few years back. Schools in New York good private schools in New York are more expensive than the private schools here. So. Private schools about $25,000, $30,000 US per kid per year. Taxes are a flat rate 15%, but you also have to pay U.S. taxes if you're a U.S. citizen. To buy my apartment, which is 1,000 square feet, would cost $4 million US dollars. That's a $1.6 million down payment, and then $12,000 US dollars a month in mortgage payments. So it's not like I have 1.6 million in cash just lying around for a deposit. Crazy as that might sound. Yeah. So now we're back at the Peak Tower. That's where the tram comes up. Today is actually kind of warm. It's like 21, 22 Celsius. It's about 71 Fahrenheit. So those guys over there, they're looking at a British mailbox over there. Queen Elizabeth mailbox. One of the few colonial mailboxes left in Hong Kong. Kids being kids. Why is the video quality so bad? It just is. I mean, we're setting up an HD signal. Sometimes it goes good, sometimes it goes bad. We walk across multiple cell phone towers. And there's a lot of other people competing for bandwidth, trying to film stuff. So it goes in and it goes out. So there's 2 cables right now. That means that the trams are down. Haven't got up yet. I honestly don't know what time it is. What time is it in New York City? Add an hour and then flip it over to the other 12. So if it's like 1 o'clock in New York City, that means it's 2 o'clock here in Hong Kong. 1 in the morning in New York is 2 in the afternoon here in Hong Kong. $12:30. Okay, so that's 1:30 on a Monday here in Hong Kong. Our work week has already started. No, most people in Hong Kong are talking on their phones and walking, so I don't really look that abnormally weird by Hong Kong standards. Kind of blend into the weirdness. $37. So we're actually coming up to where I crashed the drone. Oh, tram's coming. I miss the USA. I miss things about the USA. I don't miss everything, that's for sure. But there are some things you miss, like Amazon Prime and good barbecue and cool, crisp autumn nights where you can wear a sweatshirt. And I miss family and stuff like that. I don't miss everything, though. It's always a trade-off, you know? So I was flying the drone here the other day, and I was backing up, and I hit those trees up there. Now, you would think that's not a big deal. I mean, I landed about 30 or 40 meters from where I took off, but I had to run 200 meters that way, and then back 200 meters up a hill, and then climb up about a 20-meter wall to get the drone. This trail goes down to central Hong Kong, and I'm only going to go part way, but it goes all the way down to the Bank of China building down there. But to get to my house, it's about 3,600 steps, 3,600 steps. Why is it blurry today? Sometimes it just gets blurry with the signal, goes in and out. Pretty low quality resolution photo right now. But eventually the signal gets stronger and comes back into place. Let's see where the tram is. The tram looks like it's stuck. It's stopped. I do live in Hong Kong. I've lived here for about 7 years. It makes me a permanent resident of Hong Kong. I have my green card, so to speak. I have the right to live here forever, which means, woohoo, free healthcare for life. Not a bad deal. It's just incredibly expensive to live here. It's not a retirement place, short of winning the lottery.
Do you know when we go there?
Yeah, where do you want to go?
Just to know if there is a possibility to arrive somewhere.
If you go this way, it's very steep. And you can be in downtown in about 30 minutes. 20 minutes. If you go this way, probably 45 minutes. Beautiful view.
Better this one.
Yeah. Go this way until you see a tennis court. And when you see the tennis court, go down, turn left, and go down, and just keep going down.
Okay.
And
you live here?
yeah, I live, well, down there.
Nice.
But,
English?
yeah, American, yeah.
American.
Yeah, so funny English. Okay, have a good day. Yeah. Oh, if you go this way, you will see a house, 22 Barker Road.
Yes.
It cost 200 million euro. 200 million euro. And the man bulldozed the house. So he spent 200 million euro, said,
That's very nice.
just wanted to get a new one. So you see it, 22.
22. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So these are Italians. I'm a dad. I do a lot of dad stuff. I have a small startup called LiveWomp, L-I-V-E-W-M-P, which is an influencer marketing platform for live streamers. But most of the time, it's dad stuff, taking in the sights and sounds of the city. Yeah, that's just kind of normal here. English is the official language of the world. It is the language of business. Everybody speaks their own language and English, usually, especially businessmen. So, the native language is English and Chinese. They're both, I don't misblab it, I don't really use it. Both languages are official languages of Hong Kong. This was a British colony for 170 years. So as a result, you see English and Chinese being displayed all over the city. Most people do speak Cantonese at home, but here on Hong Kong Island, pretty much everybody speaks a little bit of English. From fluency all the way down to, well, they can give you directions and stuff. As you go into the new territories up closer to mainland China, the English proficiency drops. But you can survive very easily here speaking nothing but English. Very easily. I know a number of British guys who lived here 30 years and don't speak a lick of the local language. So we do have to watch for wild pigs here. This is where the wild pigs like to go rutting around looking for food. And it can be kind of spooky if you pop up on one. Oh, here they are. Jesus. I told you. Wild pigs. Those guys are dum-dums. That's the mama. And then there's a couple baby wild pigs. Hi. So those are a wild boar, yeah. Quite a few in Hong Kong, actually. It's not uncommon to see wild boar. I mean, not like every day or every week even. Okay, thank you. No, I don't eat them. There are a lot of them. In fact, now the father, now, I only saw 2 babies. There used to be 3 babies there. Protected, I guess so, but I don't really know. I mean, if you wanted to kill one, you'd have to like make a bow and arrow or something. I mean, there's no guns in Hong Kong, so it's not like people go around shooting them. If one gets into the city itself, they'll usually push it back into the park, the police will, or they'll catch it and then release it far, far away from the city. Now, the father, the bull for that sucker, is huge. He came down in our neighborhood about a month ago, and yeah, we have no guns here. And it was like they had to bring out the riot police. That thing was so monstrous. I'm from the United States. We have a very, very low crime rate here in Hong Kong. Violent crime is crazy low. If you feed them, they stay. And to be honest, they don't. Those pigs there are feeding off the scraps of the construction workers who've been throwing crap over the mountain pretty much every day. So they've really been tearing up the ground. Home protection, you lock your door. I mean, there's very, very little crime here in Hong Kong. You don't need a gun. It's just, we had 22 murders last year, 22 out of 7.3 million people. So imagine living in Chicago if Chicago had 8 murders a year, okay? Baltimore could have 2 murders a year. So, yeah, you know, we don't really worry about home protection. The other thing is most of us live in buildings that have doormen or security systems, so, you know, it's not like someone's going to randomly walk up into your apartment. I mean, it does happen. There are burglaries, of course, but they're pretty rare. In fact, when there's a high-profile burglary, it actually ends up in the newspaper. Bangkok is in Thailand. It's about 2.5 hours away by air. We're going to be flying to Bangkok this Friday, actually, with my son. Yeah, Chicago is messed up. Basically, here in Hong Kong, they took every idea for reducing crime ever proposed. More policemen, tougher sentencing laws, better economy, more emphasis on education, family shame, and no guns. And guess what? Guess what? It all worked. Yeah, so we have a very, very low crime rate. My kids are growing up basically like Bambis. Street crime is very rare. Violent street crime. So it's just whatever. Yeah, free healthcare is another thing too. So a lot of different things put together. Family shame, yeah, there's a sense of family dignity. There's a sense of face here in Asia. You have face, such that when you disgrace yourself, you have shame. You lose face. Your family loses face. And as a result, the family unit is in charge of protecting the family. And so if you have a nephew who's starting to hang around with the wrong crowd, you as the uncle need to get involved in that nephew's life, or something like that. You need to say, hey, these are not the kind of people you want, or hey, come work for me. Hey, don't go down this path, because it looks bad for the family. And if your family loses face, then you lose connections. You aren't having as good a business. I mean, the business community is not going to do work. They're not going to hire you if you've got a bunch of kids in your family that are causing problems. So it's sort of everyone's responsibility to keep it. I mean, that's just one part of it, though. Okay, it's not everything. That's just one part. I mean, the other part, for example, is when kids get home from school, they're immediately sent to tutors. All right, school's out, okay, time for the Chinese tutor, time for the math tutor, the violin tutor, the English language tutor. Don't have a tutor, get on YouTube and start watching Khan Academy. I mean, there's a huge emphasis on education. The suicide rate is actually, there were more suicides than there were murders last year. The pressure on the kids to perform academically is very high, very high. And a number of the kids crack under that pressure. Why did I move to Hong Kong? Because I met a girl. Yeah? Story of every guy's life, right? Met a girl, fell in love, got married, followed her on an assignment here to Hong Kong. She works for a major bank, and they speak English and Chinese. Well, Cantonese version of Chinese, Cantonese dialect, though there's a growing number of Mandarin speakers. Mandarin is spoken on mainland China. But English is also the official language here. So all government documents in English. In fact, the controlling language for the law is English. So when you read a document, a legal document, it always says the controlling language for this document is English. So if there's any dispute as to the terms, the English language version covers it. My kids speak English and Mandarin Chinese. They go to Mandarin class every day at school, and they have Mandarin tutors twice a week, and my wife yells at them in Mandarin, so they pick up some there. My kids also watch cartoons in Mandarin. There are 3 languages here, primarily. There's Mandarin, Cantonese, and English. A good Hong Konger is trilingual and able to speak all 3. But not fluently in all of them. They're better in some, as they speak Mandarin with a Cantonese accent or English with a bit of an accent, but enough to get you started. I can go into a store and I can say to the guy, do you have this in a size large? And he says, well, we don't, but we have it at the other store. And I'm like, can you put it on hold for me at the other store? Like, when do you want to pick it up? Oh, next Thursday. Okay, we'll pick it up next Thursday at the other store. And then the next guy comes in and speaks Mandarin to him, and he says the same thing. And then the next guy comes in and speaks Cantonese, and they have the same conversation. So, I mean, there's a functional level of literacy in as many as 3 languages amongst some of the Hong Kongers. Hey. But, I mean, it's not like I'm going to go in to say, oh, do you think Descartes was speaking about this when he was looking at the inner self, da-da-da, No, I wouldn't have that kind of conversation with the locals. But I wouldn't have that conversation with most people who speak English. So guys, this house right here, 100 million US dollars. This one's 70 million US dollars. But you can rent one for 65,000 US dollars a month. 65 grand a month if you don't feel like putting down 100 million US. Hey, Mexico. Not a lot of Mexican food in Hong Kong, to be honest. Most of the Mexican food, hey, it's not that great. So we're on Barker Road, Barker Road. We just passed 22 Barker Road. I used to live in New York City too. My wife was there. Any Cuban food? No, a lot of Cuban cigars though. A lot of cigar places selling Cubans. There's a Jamaican place or two. I had some pulled pork or what is it, jerky beef or whatever the other day. You don't like Mexican food? You'd be all right here then. We do drive British style. Good call. We drive on the left. The steering wheel is on the right-hand side of the car. That is different than China. Fun things to do in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is the party capital of Asia, basically. We have an incredible nightlife, a lot of clubs, a lot of drinking and partying and all that. There are too many women in Hong Kong, mathematically. There's an imbalance. There are too many females, not enough males. As far as like the people that live here, trail hiking is a big sport. You can see all those mountains over there. We have a trail hiking and trail running, actually. Some of the world's best trail running trails cut through those mountains, extending as long as 40 miles from one end of Hong Kong to the other, up and down mountain peaks and in through valleys. So being outdoors is very popular. We have beaches. A lot of people go out to the beaches on the weekends. Ping pong, badminton, those kind of racket sports. Squash is big here too. Just went to the Bahamas. Oh, that must be some nice beaches. So we're going to walk down now, Chatham Path. This is going to take me back down to my house. And this will take about 10 minutes to go down this path. It's got 10 switchbacks, this being number 1. Part of Mexico you live is so boring. Well, you should come visit. Round-trip airfare from most U.S. airports to Hong Kong is about $560 American. Round trip, $560. Went to Florida and then a cruise. Oh, cool. Must be a short cruise. I don't think the Bahamas are that far away. It is cheap. Yeah, that's it. $500, $600 round trip from most major destinations to Hong Kong. Not say in January, which is Chinese New Year, but maybe like in February or something. Or you can easily get to Hong Kong under $600 round trip. Get an Airbnb place for the week, but I always recommend coming for say 2 weeks to Asia. Do 5 to 7 days in Hong Kong and 5 days in Thailand or Korea or Tokyo or something like that. Yeah, direct from Chicago, you can easily get airfares under $600. Go to google.com/flights. Google.com/flights. That's Google's fare tracking engine. Type ORD to HKG and then just look at the fares over the next month or two and see what things you can get. Yeah, it's gonna get cold here, but cold in Hong Kong is like 50s. Yeah. When it gets 50 degrees, we all put scarves on and mittens. Do I own a pogo stick? How many hours? 14-hour flight, I think, 14 hours direct. I used to be very good on a pogo stick when I was a kid. I don't have one here. My drone is fine. Need to leave Mexico and Canada. The drone, I think, is fine. We did an engine test in the house. We haven't done a flight test. We're going to do that maybe today, actually. Hey, Yvette, welcome back. Yeah, so it's 14 hours over and 12 hours back, depending on the jet stream. Sometimes as little as 11 hours back. But I mean, what are you going to be doing in 14 hours anyway? Same old stuff. Get on, watch 4 or 5 movies, take a nap, have eats, and there. Any good Netflix movies? I don't really know what's good on Netflix. Is Something the Lord made on Netflix? I think that's a good Netflix movie. Something the Lord made. If you guys have never seen that, true story about blue babies, Johns Hopkins Hospital. Anybody seen that movie, Something the Lord Made? That's a good one. Stars Alan Rickman, Professor Snape, and Mos Def, The Mist. I won't watch that. Mos Def, who was a rapper who turned actor. So here's where the signal always gets wonky. Sleeping, tired. Lunch today was lazy. I just grabbed a chicken sandwich at McDonald's because I just was whatever. Ciao, auf Wiedersehen. Oh, down the mountain we go. We're almost home. We'll be home in about 5 minutes or so. We walked up this mountain earlier today. Signal always gets wonky here. I will come back. Just stay with it. Ugh. I hate to admit it, but I actually have to go to the bathroom. I had like 2 bottles of water on the way up and half a Diet Coke. Any people watching it? No, because we're a little bit late. The lunch hour is kind of coming to an end shortly, and I need to do some work. But we will do a couple people watching later today. I work at home usually. Sometimes I go to a studio, a co-work space, a studio. We'll do a 360 scope this week, yeah? Some of you guys really like the 360 camera. And we'll walk around with the 360 camera and show you guys Hong Kong. Guys, if you go to my YouTube channel, my most recent video was an amazing light show that was here in Hong Kong over the weekend. It was also a recent Periscope. You'll see it was a featured Periscope last Friday. But you can see a YouTube on my YouTube channel, Penguin6, and it's called The Anooki, A-N-O-O-K-I, The Anooki. And it was a projection mapping light show that was on the side of some buildings. So I'll be cutting up a lot of those videos into a video blog episode that's going up. I got another video blog to write soon, though, because we got to talk about the drone, and we also wanted to mention that we were at the Bullet Train sushi place yesterday. I didn't scope yesterday from lunch, but you guys who have seen me before, we know there is a sushi restaurant where the trains come on bullet trains. The drone we believe is fixed. We're going to do a test flight in my tennis court, maybe today, just to get it up and around. We did an engine test in the house. The motors seem operational. To be honest, it fell from a tree it hit a tree that was not very tall. Yeah, it was, say, no taller than this little banana tree. And it fell, it took 3 seconds to fall maybe 15, 20 feet. My shooting setup, it depends what I'm using. When I'm doing, I have a Canon 70D, which I use for, that's the big camera. I carry a GoPro Hero 5. I have an iPhone X, that's what's streaming right now. I also carry an iPhone 7 in my pocket, just in case something else pops up and needs to film. Then I have a DJI Mavic, and it's about an assorted variety of tripods, a DJI Osmos, which I use for Steadicam, and a few other little bits and bobs here and there. Hello. I'll be filming an intro probably with the Canon 70D. I did order a lot at the sushi place, but you know, the secret about me ordering at the sushi place is I usually ordered the cooked stuff. My kids eat the raw stuff, my wife eats the raw stuff, but I generally get the cooked sushi, like the boiled shrimp, so it's already cooked shrimp, or you guys see me get the beef ribs, or the fried chicken, or the udon noodles, and of course, the cake, the mille, the crepe mille, M-I-L-L-E. Guys, if you've never had a crepe mille cake, oh boy. Oh. Hello. Take a look at this. This is a Singapore invention, I believe. A crepe mille. Right now I'm using my arm to keep the thing steady. So what they do is they put a crepe down, a very thin crepe, and then they cover it with basically whipped cream. Then they layer it with another crepe, and then more whipped cream, and another, and another, and another. They put on about 13 different crepes, and they're layered with whipped cream, and it makes this cake that is absolutely delicious. I mean, forget about it. Forget about it. Crepe mille, M-I-L-L-E. I strongly, if you're a baker, I strongly recommend checking out a crepe mille. It's a very yummy cake. You can definitely impress your friends. We had some really good crepes over the weekend. There was these French guys set up at the light show selling, you know, authentic crepes. Kids got Nutella. I actually got sugar, lemon and sucre, lemon sugar crepe. Unfortunately, the lemon juice did kind of drip on my camera, so I spent a bit of time with the wet wipes cleaning off the cameras. Hello, hola, ¿qué tal? Tengo un lápiz roja. That's about all the Spanish I speak. So this house is for rent. This is a 6-bedroom, 6,000 square foot house for rent for about $33,000 US. See you later. 33,000 American dollars, has a separate maid's quarters for the servants and a private golf cart, which is not here right now. That's to bring the people back up and down this path because they don't want to walk down. So if you got 33 grand American burning a hole in your pocket, this could be yours. And to be honest, that's actually a bargain for something that size. Down in these buildings, if you want, say, 3,000 square feet, you're looking at $4,000. Easily 4 or 5,000 a month. Hello. Down we go. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Hong Kong. There's the Peak Tower back up there. Conformers buy property. Yes, you can buy property. However, there is a tax on non-Hong Kong residents. I think it's a 15% tariff or duty if you buy property and not a permanent resident. You would think they'd like that. You did hear the tram. We're coming up to the May Road tram station, but I think that was the one going down. So the next one will come for about 7 or 8 minutes. Oh, the tourist authority, so they kind of have a love-hate relationship, I think, with me, because I tell the good stuff about Hong Kong, but I'm not afraid to tell you about the bad stuff either. I mean, currently have 20% of the city living in poverty, and the definition of poverty is pretty sketchy. And of course, I'm always asked about the nightlife and, well, say the world's oldest profession in Hong Kong. Not farming. The other oldest profession. Is it worse since the handover? Define worse. I mean, to the people who've made tons of money, no, it's not worse. To the people who are pushing for democracy, yeah, it's quite a bit worse. There are some things. There's been a lot of. There's been some developments since the handover that have rubbed the local population the wrong way. Oh, Finley Path now. Oh, you're coming down behind me then, yeah? Well, I'm on Chatham Path right now, Chatham Path, which is you have to walk. Okay, so you come down Finley Path and then you come down Barker Road. You'll go past 22 Barker Road, and right after the tennis courts, you go down Finley Path, or down Clovelly Path, or Chatham Path. So 22 Barker Road is the home of Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba. He bought that house for $193 million US, and then proceeded to tear it down. Just said, I don't like this house anymore. Sorry I didn't meet you up there. I didn't know when you were going to get up there. Hello. Hey, Margaret. So we're coming to the end of our walk. Where's that frickin' polar bear we keep seeing? This polar bear is humongous. This isn't the big one, though. There's a bigger one up on the peak that's like twice this size. Walking into the multiple times. Oh, okay. So you're right up by that red house up there by Barker Road tram station, and I'm down here on May Road. Ciao. So today we're gonna go home. We gotta do a little bit of work, and then we gotta go meet my kids at their Chinese tutor. I'll probably have a salad there for dinner, and then take one of them to his soccer practice. Take my laptop with me so I can do some work. It did look like a polar bear, didn't it? And there's actually another one around here who's even bigger than that dog. What else do I have to do? I need to schedule a haircut this week. So we took our Christmas card photos over the weekend. We got to pick one. Legos models. I actually have a couple models I want to build. I have a couple Sea Harrier models I want to build and hang them in my kids' room. I hung some Spitfires there. Next time do lunch with today was kind of a weird day. I wanted to do lunch with you guys, but I was busy transferring this huge file off the iPhone, and it literally took 90 minutes to transfer. And as a result, instead of me being able to leave the house at 10:30, I wasn't able to leave the house until 11:30. And as a result of that, I couldn't go to all the local places I felt like going today because they'd be too crowded. You like the lunch walk? Well, maybe we'll go get a second. I don't know. We already had our lunch. I think we got to go home. No, the mainland they drive on the right, but here in Hong Kong they follow the British practice, drive on the left, steering wheel on the right. As a result, we don't really have many American cars. A lot of cars come from Australia or Japan, which are also right-hand drive vehicles. These, for example, are Toyotas. This is a Toyota Velfire. That's a very common car. Another Honda. Here's a Mercedes. There's a lot of European cars that are built for right-hand drive. Right-hand drive cars are legal in mainland China, but left-hand drive cars are illegal in Hong Kong. So you will not see any legal. I am a dad. I have a smart startup called Live Womp, Livewmp. There's a tow truck. We don't see tow trucks very often in Hong Kong. I know it sounds bizarre, but there really aren't a lot of tow trucks in Hong Kong. The file was a 40-minute, 4K, 60 frame a second football game, my son's football match I recorded at 2 what? Can you differentiate Chinese, Japanese, or Korean? Somewhat, but not always perfectly. But there are certain features that can tell the difference. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Bonsoir, bonjour. Time for me to go. I'll be back again. See my YouTube channel.